when you're trying to work at counter surfing is to teach a dog how to make good choices even though you're not there. That's the important piece. So the first thing I want to teach with Nova is how to turn away from something that's vaguely interesting and reward her for doing that. Then I'm going to make it harder and harder and harder to turn away from, rewarding her every step of the way. So, ooh, I got this delicious orange, and she's like, meh, I'm more interested in sounds upstairs. Oh, what is this? Nova, oh, what is that? Yes, and I'm clicking her when she turns away from it. Oh, what is that? Yes, and she's so smart, you can see she's already turning to my hand. As soon as I let go of that orange. She's like, really? That's easy to do. Very nice. Good girl. Ooh, yes. Now, that's one piece of it, is how interesting the item is. The second variable to work with is how close it is. So there's a little closer, but even though she could go over and snatch it, do whatever she wanted with it, she's happy to turn away because she knows what pays. She's doing a great job. Yeah, good girl. So now I might bring it even closer still. Yeah. What's that? So maybe I'll move this chair and put it right there. Yes, where she can see it. Actually, let's bring it over this way. What's that? Oh, she said, I don't know. Yes, good girl. What is that? Yes. And she's like, no big deal. I would much rather have what's in your hand than taking that grody orange. Yeah, good job. All right, so now let's move up to something harder than an orange. Now that she's getting the game, let's maybe move up to, she really likes this Chewy Toy. So I'm going to take the Chewy Toy, and again, I'm going to put it up where she can see it, but it's not that accessible. And I'm treating her, yes, when she turns away from it and comes to me. Oh, yes. I turned away so you could get a little bigger view of her turning this direction. So she's looking at the tree. Yeah, she looks so good. What? Yes, very good. And she's making a really obvious turn of her head. She's so smart. Yes, good girl. Very nice. She totally gets the game. So, since that's easy for her to do, now I'm going to move on to making it more accessible to her. She says, you're not fooling me, no way. Yes. I got the clicker in my hand, and she follows that clicker because she knows the clicker is the predictor of good things. What's that? Yeah, easy for her. Okay, I'm going to put it on the chair now. Yeah. Oh, hello. Actually, yes, come on. Oh, yes. Hey, go, girl. Leave it. She turned the other direction, but I'm still going to reinforce that. Leave it. Good girl. Very nice. What's this? Yes. Good job. She's getting the game. Right close to her, but she's making the choice to look away. What's this? Yes. I'm making that little kissy sound to start with. But then, oops, sorry about that. I'm making the kissy sound sometimes if she's getting too involved in it. But you can see now she's just starting to offer it on her own. What is that? What's that bone? What about that bone? Good. She looked at the bone and then looked at me. What's that? What is that? What is that? She's like, not even interested in the bone. So now let's up the ante. Let's give her something even more delicious. Let us work up into a rawhide bone. Oh, hello. Oh, Good girl. She's very intent about it. You earned that. Yes, you did. Good. It's funny. She's moving her head side to side. She's very interested, but happy to turn my way. Now, one of the other, knowing that how close she is to the trigger is part of what makes it harder. One criteria being using something that's more delicious. The second criteria being how close she is to it. I'm going to start hanging it over the edge. Good girl. Bringing it a little closer still. Good. Nova. Nova. So this is hard. That was a hard turn away. She's really into it at that level. Nova. Nova. Yes. I'm going to keep working here because this is a hard distance for her. What is it? What is this? Yes, good girl. Oh, but she's being patient. So now I'm going to actually start moving myself away so that she has more and more freedom to pick up that rawhide toy, and I will have less and less chance to intervene. Yes, very nice. I'm going to start wandering sort of off screen so she has more and more freedom to pick that up. Yeah, you see that? Yes, that was a good choice. Yeah, you want to get that? You want to get that bone? Yes, very nice. I hope you're able to see that. She's really looking hard at it and then she really looks away. So I'm going to make it super hard. I'm going to put it right here on the chair. Nova, Nova, Nova. Very hard. So I had to kind of lure her away. Nova. Yes, that's good. Very nice. Yes, you're so good. Yes. Nova, Nova. Yes, that was hard. She's kind of nosing it and then she looked away. Nova. Yes, very good. Now if you're doing this kind of thing at home, again, you'll gradually kind of move farther and farther away because you want her to get the idea that even if you're not in the room, that leaving things around, leaving food around, very nice, that was hard. You want to get the idea that leaving food around is not an open invitation to grab it. Nova, Nova. Yes, good girl. But the more she practices being around food and actively turning away from it, as you get farther and farther away from it, it's going to really build up her muscles about being able to turn away from something. Yes. Good girl. Yes, very good. Very good. I'm going to put one last thing down for her. I could work with this a lot. If you had this at home, this rawhide braided thing is obviously really high value for her. But I'm going to put down a little bit of people food also now. Here we go. So I've got a plate, some charcuterie. Yes, and she can smell that. So I'm moving it around so she catches that sniff. It's pepperoni and cheese, so it's very smelly. So I'm going to leave it up there for a moment. Very nice, good girl. She turned right away. What's that? Very interested in it. Good job. Yes, very nice. Yeah, she got a good sniff and she still turned away. Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. So, she's done so well. I need to press my luck here. I don't want her to fail. But I might move it just a little further over. Yes, very nice. Maybe a little closer. Yeah, leave it. Ooh, that's hard. Oh, good girl. Do you see she takes a step back? I don't know if you can see on the screen. Let me move this a little bit. But her stepping back was her way of saying, oh, I'm not going to go for that. No, I would never. Let's see. Sorry, I might have made this worse. No, I can't see where we are. Yes, good girl. That doesn't help you. Oh, hello. Very nice. Let me move this so you can see her face. Yes, very good. My clicker hand is holding the plate, so I can't click her right at that moment. But let me show you a few times how she's very clearly turning her head away in order to make the right choice. And as I continue to work with this, I would just start working farther and farther with me, farther and farther from the pepperoni. Yes, good girl. She's still struggling. It's hard right here. Oh, and with her body language, she just gave me a sit that says, I'm not going for it. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. You can always use yes instead of a click. Yes, very nice. Good girl. So that's a good start for counter surfing. I want to show you one other thing as well. And that's very, very good for the counter surfing. So think about, again, keep in mind those three things that you have to work with, which is essentially how good the food is, how accessible it is to her, how close you have it to her eye level, and then thirdly, how close you are. All those things will help you make it a little harder or a little easier. Now, if you're having a lot of trouble, like you put it down too close and she grabs it, or she just is not able to pull away or easily turn her head away, then just make it a little bit harder. You don't want to set her up to not do well. You want to make it easy enough that she can do it pretty easily and add a little bit of challenge to it. But don't make it so hard that it's impossible. If this delicious, meat is right in front of her face, it's going to be really hard for her to just turn away completely. Make it simple, lots of repetitions, and lots of repetitions of her being successful is what's going to make this a really strong behavior. Okay, thank you.